here's the issue with the PlayStation 5 and the sort of idea of the PlayStation 6, or even the Xbox, whatever the next one's supposedly called. Here's the real problem that nobody's talking about, because everybody right now is talking about the fact that they're removing the disk drives and they're no longer going to be producing physical discs. And people are talking about the issue with ownership and all that's completely 100% valid. But there's a bigger issue. Well, not even a bigger issue. There's a separate issue here that no one is talking about on YouTube. I've not seen any channels talking about this. So this is my collection of games currently, what I have installed. Now yours could be completely different. Now, a lot of these games are PlayStation 5 games, but some of them are PS4 games. So if you look at there, it says console storage 16. So there's 16 things that are installed. Two of these are apps from PlayStation, and then one of these is a PS4 game that's like 3 gigs. This is another PS4 game that's like 200 and something megabytes. This is another PS4 game, and I think this is another PS4 game as well. But I'm going to include GTA 5. But I'm going to exclude these 3 PS4 games because they're only like 7 or 8 gigs total. Let's just see information. This one's like 3 gigs. This one is another, almost 3. So it's 6 to 7. So 7 gigs is like nothing. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll call it 11. 11 essentially games installed to this PlayStation. This is the slim version with a terabyte hard drive, right? So if I go here, you can already see the issue. If I want to install something else, my camera work is terrible. I can't install. I don't have enough free space. So in the most advanced PlayStation of all time, I can only have a maximum of around 11-ish games installed. If I have, some smaller ones here and there, I can have more. But if I wanted to download like that game, Death Stranding, for example, if I wanted to play that, I have to delete one of these, and one of the big ones, by the way, right? It wouldn't do anything to delete these small ones, because these games are like 100 gigabytes-ish, give or take. So I had to figure out which game that I want to delete. And then I have to download the game, which could take quite a bit of time. So this, in storage costs, like the cost of RAM, everybody knows about that. It's gone insanely high. And sorry about the mess. I'm just keeping it real here. The price of RAM is going up, so the price of consoles is going up, but also the price of storage is going up. SSDs. I tried to buy the SSD the other day, and it's like 3 to 4 times what it cost like a year ago. It's insane. Okay? So if the next PlayStation and the next Xbox are telling you we're not going to put the games on the disc, then we're in this situation where you can only buy so many games. So it's like, am I going to buy that next game? If I'm enjoying the games that I have, am I really going to pay more money to buy another game? Because I have to like remove one to play one. What companies should be doing, instead of removing this physical drives, is they should be making it so that you can play the game off of the disc, so that it's reading the game off of the disc like it used to. A certain amount of data is going to be stored onto the hard drive, but keep most of the data on the disc. You have decreased loading times, right? So we can go back to like a longer loading time. But if I can just plug a game in and then play it, even if I have to wait, 30 seconds or a minute or something like that for a loading screen, or even if it's longer than that, it's fine. A few minutes for a loading screen. I would much rather have that than have to wait, half an hour or whatever to download the next game. Plus, I have to delete one of these games. So it's not like people like even if you want to buy more, this is a bottleneck. There's a massive bottleneck here, and so you're telling me like now the next console is going to be that much more expensive. If you want to extend your hard drive space, which you can with these, you can plug in like an external hard drive. That's going to be so cost prohibitive. It just doesn't make any sense at all. What we should be doing is going back to a disc based console, so that way I can buy as many games as I want, and I can play whatever game whenever I want whenever I want to, and that's it. Like that's the benefit of, you know, a lot of the PlayStation 3 games, most of the 360 games, everything sort of at that generation and prior is, it's just like you put the disc in and you play, and so the the irony is like everybody's saying, ownership, which is so valid. It's 100% valid, and I 100% agree with that issue. But it's like these companies are not interested in creating an experience. Like this is supposed to be a console for playing video games. So you're building it a bottleneck. And by the way, the cost of these has just gone up even more. Not to mention there's issues where if you place this vertically, apparently the thermal paste goes down once it heats up, and then that's a whole issue that they haven't solved. It's not solvable, which is concerning. Even though you have to pay extra for that little stand, which is a whole thing. But why are we doing this? Like, it's like the people who are putting this product out, they're not even considering the fact that people want to play video games on this console. Like, how does this make sense? It actually does not make sense. It actually is saying, like, we don't really care about sell, because you know what I mean. Like, let's say I want to buy whatever game comes out. Like, this is literally the situation. I have to go, oh, okay, well, what do I want to uninstall? And it's a whole process. Even if I buy the disc for this current generation, it's pretty much just gonna, well, not totally. I think a lot of the data is going to come from the disk, which speeds up time significantly. But then there's like usually some downloadable file for updates, which takes time to download before you can play. So the whole experience of gaming has gotten worse from this perspective, right? And these are average games. Like these are average PlayStation games. Astrobot, Uncharted, Celebi was an exclusive title. Street Fighter. Even this is like a smaller game. Even, Mortal Kombat. These are pretty like Gran Turismo, Control. These are pretty like average titles. So I'm just using them as example because this is not some extreme case. This is like a normal thing. Like there's games in my collection right now I would love to just like play, but I can't do that. I have to delete something and I have to download and I have to wait. So there's two negatives to that scenario. As opposed to just like, oh, I want to play this game, let me put the disc in and play. Oh, I want to go back to, Control or whatever. I want to play any other number of games. So this whole thing is like, it's beyond backwards, and it's not even like, if they're trying to sell games, it makes it seem like they're not trying to. Because if they were trying to sell games, they would make it easier. for you to play the game. It's like I don't know. I feel like I need to repeat this because no one's talking about it. Like I'm forced to remove and delete these games. Like let's take Mortal Kombat for example. Oops, wrong button. 86 gigs, right? Close to 100 gigabytes. So if I didn't have this installed and I was like, oh, let me uninstall it, I have to download almost 100 gigabytes. So then I would have to look to see like, okay, well, what game do I have that's at least 90 gigabytes? So I would have to go, okay, well, what's Uncharted? Oh, well, that's 60. So that's not even enough. It's not even like I can delete this game and then install that. It's like I gotta find something else. Okay, what about Stellar Blade here? Okay, this is only 40. So I'd have to delete these two, right? Or this one's enough, so I'd have to delete Street Fighter. But let's say like I'm enjoying playing this Street Fighter, so I can't go back and forth. It's like they're literally restricting my ability to play video games, and the whole cloud argument is nonsense. Like cloud gaming is still not there. It's been not there for many years. It's still not going to be a thing like that makes sense for me and my gaming style. And what are we doing here? Like so we're taking what like the whole point is what I'm saying is if you keep the discs, then you solve the problem if you offload some of this data storage back to the disk and have the system read the data off of the disk as it was for years. Why are we not doing this? So it's like, yeah, Sony can have complete control of their e-commerce store, but they're also losing a massive amount of sales on games. So even if they have to pay a percentage to retail and a percentage to, I mean, it's pretty much it for the disc, right? It's like because the cost of the disc is so low, it's like minuscule cost. So you produce that. So this is like if I was going to create a new console, because I'm not going to buy the next PlayStation and I'm not going to buy the next Xbox, even though I have a Series X, because I'm not interested in the direction that they're going in. Because like whoever is in charge of these companies clearly is not interested in gamers or what gamers want, right? Like they're really not interested in it because they don't seem to understand that the purpose of this thing is to play games. So, I get the whole argument of, well, we're going to have a super fast SSD in here, so things are going to load super fast, right? I get that, but it's a trade off. All these things are a trade off. And the trade off has gotten to the point that it no longer makes sense. Because with the cost of storage, if it doesn't come down, the next whatever console, like the games keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Like if we look at these PlayStation 4 games, I mean they're like considerably smaller. This was a really great game here, 4 gigs, and then but then we get a PlayStation 5 game, 40 gigs, 10 times ish the amount. So, but I think on a Blu-ray, they hold something like 47 gigs of data, I think. So, if you restrict that and you tell the developers, well, if it's like you might need to release your game on multiple discs, as was done in the past, or you need to restrict your game to, whatever 2 Blu-ray discs is or something like that. Um, I don't know. Developers would figure that out. They would work around the constraints because constraints are good. Like, constraints actually can help innovation. If you add a constraint like that, so my whole point is like Sony doesn't seem to care about this. Xbox doesn't seem to care about this. But someone's got to, like, someone should care because the disc, it makes so much more sense now because less and less people have like computers with disk drives, for example. So the disk drive is now like a better protection against piracy just for the fact that like people don't have disk drives anymore. Of course there's always going to be issues with emulation or whatever, but it's like it's now more of a protection than it's ever been. So it seems like now there's a ton of advantages for that, but for whatever reason we're not doing it. Anyways, this is the unspoken issue.